Wherever there is suffering,
we will call it.
You'll find us.
I thought that was magnificent, Richard. Fantastic.
People of Santo Poco, if you do not get the reference, you do not deserve to be watching.
Yes, the Manchester United game was rather slow, so I decided to read you our intro, and I think it was worth it. I think it was marvelous. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Riker's Beard Live. Good evening, Mark. How the devil are you, chap? Good evening, Christoph. Belated happy birthday to you, good sir. Good evening, Nadim. How you doing? And good evening, Rashid. How are we doing? So, yep. If you've never seen the show before, or even if you have seen it before, please do say hello in the comments. We always like to know who you are, where you're watching from. We love that. And also your favorite character and your favorite series. It's something we just enjoy. We all enjoy the universal international outreach that this program has, and the fact that people from around the globe tune in and watch. So it's fantastic to hear from you. So please do say hello in the comments. How the devil are we, chaps? To my left is
no.
And slightly upwards towards the north is Carl. How are you doing, Carl?
Good evening. Yes, very well, thank you, sir. Very well.
And as always, below me, James. How are you doing, chap?
I'm all right. It's Rashida said it's a wet and miserable London. I was just sitting out in the conservatory reading some papers, and it was absolutely hammering down on the roof out there. Is it raining where you are, boys?
No.
Not raining in the market. You're only 2 miles away.
No, not raining here.
Imagine where you are and then go north. That's how bad it is here.
I'm presuming it must be raining where you are, Carl.
Oh, yeah. Weather like this turns my pub into a sieve.
So let's have a quick pop quiz then. So Rashid says his favourite series is DS9, fine choice, and his favourite character is Data. So could you please name the only episode of DS9 Data has appeared in?
Oh.
Go on, James. Go on, you can do it.
Go on, James. Get it before the audience. I can picture the episode.
Wasn't there a TNG episode where Bashir appears?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a DS9 episode.
He's caught me out there completely, hasn't he? Oh, goodness me, James.
Is it the Raven? Is it called the Raven? It's the one where Data dreams.
No, it's the one.
No.
It's the two-parter where Worf goes off to find the weird encampment, isn't it? But at the start of it, there's the crossover with DS9.
Yeah.
Birthright, I think that is.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think it is Birthright. Yes, well done, James. Fantastic.
We get there between us.
I genuinely thought I was going to catch you out with that. That's fantastic. Well done, chaps. Fantastic trekking, proving again why you two are the masters.
Yes.
So this week, again, there's a couple of things I'd like to bring to your attention. First of all, obviously there's been no new track, so we've gone on track. But however, Lower Decks is coming soon, and I would like to share with you now a nugget if you're not aware of it. I found a fantastic website. Oh, not that one, James. It's called TV Maze. If you buy a computer now, Google it, TV Maze. You whack in your favorite programs and it brings up a calendar and it tells you when they're coming out. It's brilliant. Honestly, it gives you a countdown, a proper calendar view so you can see when episodes are landing. So if you buy a computer now and you're watching, they're not sponsoring us. I just found it and it's really good. TV Maze, it's called. It's free. And you just like your favorite programs and it tells you when they're coming out. And it's just, I find it very useful. I can kind of pretty much every day, actually. I think, oh, yes, the new episode of Frasier's coming out. Or, oh, yes, the new episode of The Walking Dead's coming out on this date. So I find it very useful.
Have you been watching the Frasier reboot?
Very much.
You haven't been watching or have been?
No. Have you been watching the Frasier reboot?
God, yes. I'm not insane. Yeah, I found the first season genuinely was flawless. I thought it was that good. It was absolutely flawless. This season, I'm afraid, has been a little wanting. It's been okay, but I think the first season set the bar quite high. So some more hellos. So quickly, hello, Gary. How you doing, chap?
Evening, Gary.
And yes, Rashid didn't fall for my ruse either. Well done. Chris, how you doing, buddy? All right? And the lovely Victoria. Fantastic.
Hi, Vicky.
So again, if you're new to the show or you've watched the show for a long time, please pop in your favourite Star Trek series, and we do include the Orville. And please do include your favourite Star Trek series and your favourite characters. So in talking about the Orville, I went to a pub last night. I went to several pubs actually, yeah. And I went out with a buddy of mine who's a part-time Trekkie. He's a teacher, a science teacher, and we invariably we talk about Star Trek. And we spoke for about a solid hour about the Orville and just how good it is. I mean, and how it's like some of the best Trek that we've seen since the TNG. It's that good. So yeah, if you don't think the Orville is Trek, you're probably watching the wrong show here. This isn't.
You're wrong, basically.
You're wrong, basically. Yeah. So
Richard, can you help us with the Orville? So there was a period of time after season 3, I think it was, that it was unclear if it would be renewed.
Yeah.
And I think basically all the sets were destroyed. Because that's what they do with sets nowadays. And then it has been recommissioned. Is that so?
No.
It's not been recommissioned.
No, the waters are still muddied, unfortunately. So yeah, it's still. So season 1 and 2 were brilliant. Of course they were. But there was less creative control from Seth MacFarlane, and it was more comedy based than he felt he wanted it to be. So that's why season 3 goes a lot more hardcore, and I think it's better for it. And it got much more critical acclaim, but sadly the ratings didn't do it quite as much as people who watched it loved it. Not enough people watched it, so it feels like they've yet to find the balance. Not for me. I loved all of it. The amount of times that my friend Jake and I last night just kept saying, "Wasn't it brilliant when Rob Lowe exploded with blue juice?" It's just.
Everyone's entitled to have opinions, even when they're wrong.
If everyone was right about everything, we wouldn't be, where we are.
Nothing to talk about.
So, if you're watching the show, again, please do pop down your favourite show, your favourite character, and if you wouldn't mind just quickly giving us a thumbs up or a love emoji, that'd be marvellous. It'd be fantastic, man. OMG. And I hate doing that because I sound like a youth, but goodness gracious, Chris. Oh
my word, Chris, as soon as we're off, not before, as soon as we're off, go and look it up and in you go.
So it is better than Discovery, obviously. It's better. It's better than Lower Decks. It's better than Prodigy. It's on a par with Voyager. It's on a par with DS9. It's that good. It's absolutely superb.
Really, on a par with DS9?
Definitely, yeah. So on a par. It's a different kind
maybe
of
DS9
kind of
Track. Season 3, but not so much after that.
DS9, I feel, is very much a standalone Trek series for the right reasons. It's very different, because it's very long arcing, kind of like season 4 of Enterprise. That sort of bags. Yeah.
He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
But Nadim is.
Yeah, Nadim is wrong.
Chris Smith says, "I love TNG. Also love Picard." Yep. But again,
seasons?
Orville is better than Picard. Like all 3 seasons of Picard, it's better than all of them. It's that good.
Yeah, I've nearly finished reading Sir Patrick's autobiography, which
it's
I've
good,
had
isn't it?
around for a year. But it's in the reading part anyway. So he says in that he had 3 preconditions for doing the Picard series. 1, that it was not to be a TNG reunion. 2, that he wouldn't wear a uniform. I think the 3rd one was that Picard had to be in a different place, and he softened by season 3, which is when we got the TNG reunion. It's the bit that we all actually wanted. As far as I'm concerned, you can almost forget the other two series. Season 3 was so good.
So again, I was speaking to this with Jacob last night, and he said he enjoyed Picard. And what did I think? I said, well, I enjoyed it, but I've not gone back and rewatched it. And I think that's kind of the thing. If I'm in the mood for some Trek, I'm much more likely to go back and watch some DS9 or some Voyager or some TNG than an episode of Picard. So I'm not dissing it completely. There was a lot of filler in season 2. I'm not dissing it completely, but I've not been back to rewatch any of it.
Season 2 was essentially a remake of The Voyage Home, wasn't it?
I can't actually remember what happened in season 2. So yeah.
I found recently when I've wanted to dip into something, I've been very, very picky about what I watch.
Oh
even through the classic or TNG or DS9, I've been very picky about which episodes I've gone back to watch recently. Not sure why.
Do you spend more time deliberating over what to watch than actually watching it?
I probably do to be honest. Yeah.
And again,
it's very much dependent on my mood.
And again, I love Strange New Worlds, but again, I've not been back and rewatched any of it at all. I've not been.
There's one or two episodes in Strange New Worlds that are on my regular hit list, but again, not a huge amount.
Is it the musical one, Carl?
Funnily enough, that is in there. I do actually quite enjoy that one. I've got to be honest. But no, Memento Mori's in there. That's just
Which one is that one? Can you help us?
Yeah, it's the season 1, episode 4, where they first meet the Gorn and have the submarine type episode. Very akin to the Nebula battle in Wrath of Khan. But also the final episode of season 1 is very good.
I've enjoyed Strange New Worlds. I've enjoyed Picard. I've just not felt the need to go back and rewatch it. I don't know why. I couldn't answer why. I don't think
it's very serialized. I mean, you can't really dip into a random episode of Picard because it's in the middle of a story.
So is DS9 to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, it's more episodes.
It's more DS9 in Enterprise than anything.
Yeah. So, Christoph says, after my last full rewatch, where I only skipped some 5 episodes, I decided I'll not to do a full rewatch ever.
That's not a full rewatch if you've skipped up to 10 episodes.
Yeah, that's not a full rewatch if you skip. Look, Christoph, if you're going to rewatch Voyager, you have to watch the first 2 seasons, mate. You have to. If you're going to watch DS9, you have to watch the first 2 seasons, mate. I'm afraid it's...
Got to watch Move Along Home.
And if you watch TNG, you've got to watch Code of Honor.
Oh, no vaccine.
See, you'd think it was okay after a certain point, but then along came Sub Rosa. And...
I love Sub Rosa, if only for the fact they have fog on the bridge. I love that.
I like Sub Rosa purely because I've got to be completely. So we're going to move on. Actually, let's do it now. We've got a new game to play, so we'll segue into this. We've got a new game. I'll play the sting, and then we'll set out the rules.
Okay, all right.
Everyone at home, we're about to play a new game, so get ready.
You'll love it.
This is going to be some of our finest work. Welcome to Airlock 101. So, yeah, basically, if you're not familiar with the British Broadcasting Corporation's very similar but not the same show, Room 101. Basically, you get to choose something that you can just wipe from existence. So
Could I just say, Richard, how much I enjoyed that sting, but particularly how the bananas in the dissolve left last.
Yeah, you have to have the. Could I have the bananas for scale?
Well, obviously, they were.
Nothing else makes sense.
Everyone understands that. It's that
Makes
they
it real.
stayed until the last moment was my favourite bit.
Yeah,
I
they
really
have to.
like that. Top
So-
work. Top work, sir.
That's some of my best work. As I say, the Manchester United Villa game was very boring. So I may have had a bit of time to do some stuff whilst that was on. So here we go. We're going to play Room 101, but it's slightly different to how it was done on the Beeb on Auntie. You gentlemen will get to pick one thing each. Ground rules straight away. Can't be anything Discovery related.
Oh,
Oh no, hang on. I think
No.
you're allowed things Discovery related. You just can't say Discovery as a whole because there are many elements.
No,
Some are good, some are bad, some are bloody terrible. So some should be allowed in there.
Yeah, look, I thought about this. I thought, well, let's not pick on Discovery. So let's just have.
come on! I haven't
We're
prepared
not
anything
picking
else.
on it. We're
Wait,
being inclusive.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I thought we can't just pick on Discovery. So let's have worst captain. Discovery.
All right, okay.
Then I thought, let's have worst character. Discovery. Let's have worst episode. So it's got to be like not Discovery, and the reasons being it will become clear. So you chaps are going to pick something you want to go into Room 101. You've got to plead your case. Okay. I'm going to grill you, but I'm not going to decide. It's not going to be up to me. It's going to be up to our wise and intelligent audience that are going to pick. But you can only pick one. If you're watching at home, Carl and James are going to plead their case for something from the Star Trek universe to go into Airlock 101. Only one of them can go. If it's a tie, I will decide. So it's going to be up to you to decide. And by the way, if you are watching this on a rerun and it's not live, please don't vote. You may still be charged by your mobile provider. And your vote won't count.
Also, the value of your investment could go down as well as up.
Could do. Yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk you take.
Also, please consume as part of a calorie-controlled diet.
And your home is at risk if you do not keep up repayments.
And when the fun stops, stop. not this. Don't switch this off. So yeah, they're gonna, and it's gonna be anything from the Star Trek world they can choose to put into Room 101.
Oh, I've got one. Right,
but it can't be anything related to Discovery whatsoever. Okay, that's just flat. I'm afraid not happening. So to decide who's going to go, oh bugger, I was meant to have a coin.
Well,
right.
I've got something in mind.
Room 101 actually is from the novel 1984.
Right, so we're going to decide who goes
so-
first fairly. In one of these hands is a guitar pick. Now, my left or right, Carl, which one is the pick in?
No, hang on. So your left is your camera mirrored accurate?
My left hand has the watch on.
Don't do that gesture.
And my
I
right
was going
hand.
to say, just be careful there, Richard. Could I just see which was your right hand again there, Richard? No. We'll go for the left.
Left hand does not contain a guitar pick. The right hand does. So, James, would you like to go second or first?
I'd like to go first, please.
Oh, straight in there. Okay, so, James, please tell us what you would like to go. Should I play this thing again?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we love the banana.
So, James, please tell us what you would like to go into Airlock 101.
Well, I'm being really preemptive here. You've embiggened me. The forthcoming new show, Starfleet Academy. We haven't seen anything about it yet, but we know two things. And we know that it's going to be set in the 32nd century, and we know who one of the main characters is going to be. She's irritating, and she's red-headed, and I want that immediately banned.
Is that character from Discovery, James?
Yes, but it's not a
Did we agree?
It's a Starfleet Academy
Did
character.
we agree that it could be not be Discovery related
But
whatsoever?
it isn't. It's
That
Starfleet
was a
Academy
condition
related.
that we
I've got an easy ride this week, haven't I?
That's my
Honestly.
entry. I'm not changing it. That's what I'm saying.
A rebel, James. Well,
It's within the rules.
okay, so you're choosing the new, which to be fair, it hasn't started filming yet, so she might not be in it. So I'll let you get away with it.
We know she's in it.
She's in it.
So, James, put forward your case why you would like Starfleet. It can't. We need to.
I have to actually justify that. I have
If
to
you're
say
going to
anything
persuade
more.
our audience, there's Discovery lovers in the audience, so you're gonna have to persuade them.
Well, the idea of Starfleet Academy is fantastic. That I mean, if it was set in the 25th century, around what we sort of think of as the current Trek timeline, so from the golden era, the ongoing timeline, it would be fantastic. You could have cameos from all of the TNG.
You're not helping your
DS9
case.
characters.
You're not helping.
But instead, they've set it in a timeline that's just preposterous, with characters that are just fundamentally unlikable. I mean, I don't think I need to add any more to that.
Oh, okay. So you rest your case.
I rest my case.
Okay. Carl, how do I bigify you? Well, you bigify yourself. Use your right hand.
Hang on. I do that, and then I do that.
Wait,
Sub Rosa.
Carl, well, would you like to tell us what episode you would, what Star Trek related thing you'd like to put into Room 101, and please give us your reasons why.
Sub Rosa. Beverly shags a candle.
I mean,
there's one or two saving graces in that episode.
Yeah.
One, I believe, is a headstone labeled McFly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe the other one is a headstone labeled Darth Vader.
Just as Vader.
Vader.
Just says Vader. My apologies. But other than that,
He could be the wrestler.
Yeah. Other than that, no. It's utter. Yeah.
I'll just
rest my case, Your Honour.
I'll just because I want to ask you both some questions to help our knowledgeable audience decide. And I've got a couple of questions I'd like to put to you first of all, Carl, and that is, how old were you when you first saw the episode Sub Rosa?
Not old enough.
14, 13, somewhere around there.
Yeah, would have been around 14.
Did you enjoy listening to Councillor Troy and Dr. Beverly Crusher talk about sex?
No comment.
Because I did. James.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honour.
Yeah, it's first of all, the one rule I put in, you've trampled all over.
No, I didn't. It's a different series.
And it's kind of difficult to throw something into Room 101 that hasn't happened yet. And hear me out here. Like, if it wasn't for Discovery, we wouldn't have got Strange New Worlds. Okay? So I'm not going to decide. The audience will decide. But I think you're fundamentally flawed.
Difference on anything does Sub Rosa have?
Yeah, I mean, I know which one I would place into Room 101. I'm not going to say because I don't want to influence the jury. But yeah,
We've got 12 people watching. That's enough for a jury.
So I'd like very much if you could possibly give us a little bit more, James, to try and. No, okay. So James is saying he would like to see Discovery.
No.
Put in room 101.
No, I didn't say I want Discovery put in room
No,
101 because
no,
you expressly forbade
I'm
that.
sorry, you didn't
What I
say
said
that.
was I don't want the characters from Discovery appearing in Star Trek.
Freudian slip. James wants new Star Trek put into room 101 before you've even seen it. Carl wishes that Sub Rosa
It'd be kind of like,
Never
you want to meet Donald Trump. Not really.
never existed. So take your time and have it. No, it wouldn't be. On a dim, it would be brilliant if you did it like Police Academy.
Vicky, you're not the girl I thought you were.
So let's take a few seconds here, and whilst the theme tune is playing, to decide what goes into room 101. So I'll make this absolutely clear. If you think Carl's Sub Rosa should go into room 101, then put Sub Rosa.
Come on, people.
If you think James's not Discovery new Starfleet Academy series with Tilly in it should go in room 101, then please type in the comments not Discovery new Starfleet Academy series with Tilly in it in the comments, and we'll see who wins. And voting is open now. Again, if you're rewatching this, don't vote because you could still be charged. Voting opens now. Right, I'm just getting a pen. Right. Right. So, Carl, James. So, first of all, the first vote in there is from Gary. He's going with James. He thinks the new Starfleet Academy series should go in there.
I mean, he's not followed your instructions, but I'm going to accept that vote.
Second vote is going with Mark, so we're tied.
Oh, there was never any doubt.
The third vote is a point of order.
Oh, there we go. That's the next vote.
Carl.
Christoph.
Oh.
Not Discovery.
I think that's a vote for me.
I think that's a vote for you, James. I'm going to count that as a vote for you. Yeah. Anne's going Sub Rosa.
Alan.
Chris has gone off-piste.
I'll give you both a vote for that. Okay.
Richard, nice to hear from you, Richard.
Hey,
No, hang on. Sunriser is not a vote for anything.
I think
it's blatantly obvious that was an autocorrect mistake. He meant Sub Rosa. Anyone can see it, Your Honour.
I think
Vicky's going for the new Starfleet.
There we go.
Okay.
Right.
Sub
Rosa. And now, hang on, Richard, you already voted. So, hang on, we already had
that's
that.
the correction because of the typo.
Right, okay, right. Well, don't count it twice. Right, Del, you're
Del.
wrong.
Hey!
Chris.
That's a vote against James. Give that one to me.
Chris has gone
to I'd already said that
as well. Sustained. Right. So the votes are in. Bear with me while I just quickly tally them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, somewhat unsurprisingly, we've got a bit of a landslide victory here. Carl, please wave goodbye to Sub Rosa. It is going into airlock 101.
All I can say is I hope you're pleased with yourself, Carl. Look what you've done.
You've no idea.
Look what you've done. Look what we're left with because of your rash decisions. You've got rid of an episode of TNG to save us an entire series with Mary Wiseman in it.
I abided by the rules.
Well, look, she may only literally be in it as a cameo, like Mr. Scott in TNG. Sorry, DeForest Kelly in TNG. You never know. It might be. This is the thing. Again, I'm not a massive fan of Strange New Worlds, but you have to remember that Discovery gave birth to Strange New Worlds. So, this also could
The
pan out.
Cage gave birth to Strange New Worlds.
He's got you there.
We would not have had Strange New Worlds without Discovery.
That I will concede to.
So, at Section 31, if they cast Steve Guttenberg in it and Hightower and Motormouth Jones
Academy
and Zed. And
for all we know, Starfleet Academy could still end up being very
Hook,
very good.
And Proctor and Harris.
Honestly,
who would we get to play Proctor and Harris? It'd be Jellicoe. What's the
Ronnie Cox?
Yeah, Ronnie Cox would have to be Harris. Who do we get to play Proctor?
Jeffrey Combs, who plays everything.
Jeff Combs, yeah, Jeff Combs as Proctor. Yeah. Ronnie Cox and Jeff Combs as Harris and Proctor. That would be absolute magic. That just. And Commandant Lassard, who would get to play Commandant Lassard? Patrick Stewart. I think Patrick Stewart, because he
could.
He did a bad thing. He did a very, very bad thing.
Oh no! Donald Trump.
He did bad thing.
Donald Trump is Lassard. I've got the best academy. Everybody says it's very bad thing.
Did a very bad thing.
See, we've just fixed
the new Starfleet Academy
series.
They're eating the dogs.
They're actually
in the news. I genuinely thought it was a wind-up. But then I thought that the whole Space Force thing was a wind-up, and I thought the whole inject yourself with bleach thing was a wind-up. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's just marvelous.
I actually, in a sense, because did you see when he left office? Then he went to the airbase, and as he was walking up the steps to Air Force One for his final flight away, I tell you what, the genius that was in charge of the music. Did you hear what he played?
Was it the
YMCA.
Dots thing from EastEnders?
YMCA.
No, he played YMCA as Trump was about to walk up the stairs to Air Force One after his final speech as president. That's genius. That's a guy willing to put his life on the line. Just that joke.
The Imperial March would have been quite good too.
Would have been good.
That would have been pretty good.
Or the Benny Hill theme. Or how about this one? I'm a president, get me out of here.
That's my guilty pleasure. Is I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. And I honestly, I've never watched it before, but Mrs. Richards said, "Oh, we should watch it." I watch it and I enjoy it. I'm like, "No, it's not for me." And she said, "Nigel Farage is in it, and you'll get to watch him eat a kangaroo's anus." And I'm like, "I'm in. I'm all in. I am all in."
Yeah.
And he did, and it was everything I wanted it to be.
Have you watched John Barrowman disgrace himself on Celebrity SAS?
No, I've heard he lasted all 30 seconds.
About 32 minutes he was on the base before he went, "Oh, it's too much for me," and he walked off.
Yeah. I mean, I can't obviously talk about my military career, but suffice to say, I know that you don't really go in with the SAS unless you're a bit of a roughy-tufty. And as much as John Barrowman has played a somewhat actiony hero in Doctor Who, he's hardly what I would call roughy-tufty.
Well, he was Malcolm Merlin in Arrow.
Yeah, that was an odd choice, wasn't it?
Yeah, very. Kind of worked,
Very
though,
odd
didn't
choice. He didn't really sell it, if I'm honest with you.
it? It worked for 2 seasons. Then
Yeah, I
Now,
liked Arrow.
Chris asks
but, yeah.
this.
What Trek cast would you
I'd
love?
like to see the cast of Discovery parachuted onto the Lost Island, possibly without parachutes.
Who would I like to see? And I'm able to get me out of here. Definitely Marina Sirtis.
I think it'd be
should-
hilarious having Brent Spiner in there.
Brent
I've
Spiner's
seen
he's
one
always good
story
value.
before he gets his morning coffee. It's funny.
Yeah.
Richard's met Marina Sirtis before her morning coffee.
Marina Sirtis tried to meet Richard before the morning coffee.
You might well think that. I can't possibly comment.
Gentleman never tells.
Nope,
But,
so I'll do it for you.
I couldn't possibly comment.
Hang on. I just haven't got all my sound effects lined up fast enough for that. There we go.
We've not been able to hear your sound effects for weeks, James.
No.
Oh.
Was that the O Matron?
No, that was the dun 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 sound effect.
Oh, no, we didn't get that.
You should probably unplug your roadcaster and plug it back in again. Yeah. So which Trek cast are we talking? Actors or characters? Would you like? Because if you're talking characters, Golda Cut, he would be amazing in the jungle. He would be literally Nigel Farage in the jungle. He'd be incredible.
Well, you'd have to have Neelix just to be able to cook up the shit that they send in.
He'd be Ainsley Harriott, wouldn't he, in the jungle?
Yeah, definitely. You'd need Worf. He'd just go hunting and get you some really good
I think
stuff.
it'd be a bit boring. You want to take people out of the comfort zone. So
no, because he'd take all the challenges to the extreme, wouldn't he? Like anything that you have to do the smallest little like hunting based skill, he'd absolutely slaughter it.
Quark could be really funny, Rom, and obviously you got to put Lita in there because
O'Brien would build like an entire village just using whatever he had in his engineering kit, and he would have running water and power and stuff within 24 hours.
If he wasn't on strike. Just,
yes.
So, rewatching Star Trek because we've got no Star Trek to watch at the moment.
I watched the fan film today, Richard. Don't forget, I watched Farragut Forward.
This is what I'm segueing in. You've overtaken me there, James. So,
sorry, I thought
James
there was no new Trek. Well, there you go.
James has been watching some really good fan film. Really, really, really good fan film called the.
It's called Farragut Forward, is what I was watching,
and he's going to tell us about it now.
Well, Farragut Forward is a movie era fan film set on a Reliant class ship called the Farragut, and it follows on from a fan-based film series. What did I say? Oh, Reliant class. Yes, of course. Quite right, Carl. I was just checking you were paying attention there. Yes, Miranda class starship. Yes, it follows on from an original series-based fan series based on the Farragut, which was a Constitution class. Anyway, so they spent a lot of time and money building sets, and I think they went to the costume people and said, every costume we've seen in the movies, every single one of them, we want it to appear in some form or other. And they've decided. Well, look, basically, if you've seen The Undiscovered Country, they've remade that. It's the same plot, but what it tells me is two very important things. Firstly, why is it if you're having a pitched space battle, there's an officer wandering down a corridor with a clipboard, and it's terribly funny in this scene where all the explosions are blowing off. This guy's just he's literally walking down the corridor with a clipboard, going, "Oh, what am I going to do now?" Well, that's useful. And the second thing is fan films. You know, they're a labour of love. I get it, but for God's sake, cast professional actors, please.
Well, if I can just jump in
You
there,
don't do all the
possibly.
special effects and the plot and the wardrobe and everything, and then get amateurs to do the acting.
I think the whole reason they're doing it, though, James, is so they can be in it. That's the purpose of the fan
Display
film.
their love of the
So
franchise.
I think you're being, as much as you would love to probably get them to cast Patrick Stewart in it, that's probably not a realistic expectation. I think, and I know what you're saying, because I've watched some of these fan films, and one of the things that I find the funniest is when I'm watching it, and as you know, I'm somewhat of an amateur filmmaker myself. Good to know you.
You've got a camera at home, have you, sir? Have you?
I have. And I watch some of these fan films, and I think, oh my God, that was the best take. That was like what were the ones like that were shit? do you know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, that was the best one. I would love to see the ones that didn't make the cut, because they must have been astonishing.
But in all fairness, when you come up with these things, you've got a vision in your head. Are you boys genuinely telling me that you don't feel you could play that part better than any of the actors that are on there?
I've not witnessed the particular one that we're discussing.
Any of the fan films that you've watched, there's always a dodgy actor in there somewhere where you think,
the Holy Core, where Gary, our friend Gary O'Brien.
In fact, that's who we should get on next week. Let's reach out to Gary. Give our viewing audience a chance to catch up on Farragut Forward. Reach out to Gary, and next week we should have a proper discussion on this.
Gary said to me when I went to sort of participate in the filming process, don't mess around with amateurs, get professional actors in.
But you have to remember that Gary doesn't make fan films; he makes fan-funded films, and there's a difference there. There is a huge difference. And when you say, if we watch it, do you think we can do better? I know for a fact that Carl has a GCSE in drama, and also James and I are very
about 47 minutes ago.
and James and I are very accustomed to public speaking, so and performing in front of cameras. So yeah, I think I'm fairly confident without seeing this fan film in saying that we could have played all of the parts better than the people who did it. But that's not why they've done it. They've done it so they can be in Star Trek.
Yeah, they've done it as a labour of love.
Yeah, I get that.
So let them have their moment in the spotlight, and let them.
So the sort of like the professionalism aside of it, is it a good story?
I would say they've put too much into it.
Too much story.
I think they've put too much story. Basically, they have ripped off the plot from The Undiscovered Country, and they've ripped off even lines and scenes from The Undiscovered Country. So they've tried to compact a feature-length film into a 51-minute episode, which, incidentally, I don't know how they've gotten around the guidelines that CBS and Paramount put out, which made very clear that they would only allow 15-minute episodes or one combined 30-minute in two parts, and it had to have no professional actors, and it had to have no continuity of characters from other things.
Yeah, no recurring characters, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe so it seems to be. I mean, I think CBS has kind of given up on that now, seeing as they've sued Axonar. That's another thing.
Did it fall into the bracket of it must be shit?
No, look, there are definitely
good parts of it. I am joking. I've not seen it. If anyone's watching it or involved in making it, I'm making a joke here. I've not seen it. It might be very good. So
you know what? I'm going to watch it this week, and I may well come back and defend you.
Apparently, it's not as bad as a Star Trek series that hasn't even happened. that James wants to put into Film 101. So
Purely because of the talk who might be in it.
We know she's in it. She's confirmed.
So someone
Until it's on screen, it's not canon.
So
here you are. Look, here's the proof. Look,
Mary Weissman as put it back up. That's too quick. I can't.
we've had this already. I showed
Mary
you.
Weissman
Oh.
is a cast member, but also Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
And oh god, she's so irritating. Not her.
Yeah, Tig Notaro.
Oh god.
Are you reconsidering? How wise my decision was now.
No,
Still
because I
warm.
haven't seen it yet. In the first episode, they might kill Mary Weissman's character.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a
how
fair
happy
point.
would you be?
You've said something that's made me reconsider now.
Yeah, they might it might be horrific. Might be vat of acid. You don't know. I mean, it probably won't happen, but it might do. So
Yeah, but there's still that possibility.
yeah, so you can't. You can't. I mean, Tig Notaro might be able to say one line that's not sarcastic. You don't possibly. It might happen.
It's unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were you using sarcasm there, then, Richard?
I may well have been. So, yeah, you can't kind of jump on and throw something. Well, as we found out, as our knowledgeable audience have decided, Sub Rose has gone into Room. I was slightly disappointed with that because I first watched that episode when I was of an age where I enjoyed watching Councillor Troy and Dr. Crusher talking about having sex with a candle.
Is that what was termed by the great late Elvis Presley as burning love?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Clever.
Oh gosh, we've been talking too much about Star Trek. We've not got long left now.
We've got to sit in the dim then.
We've got like a wish clip and everything lined up.
Yeah. Gosh, what have we got left to do? Have we got a wish clip? We've got
Got a wish clip, we've got massive choppers.
I've got both of them ready.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's quickly do. Let's do wish. Are we ready for wish? I'll do.
Yeah,
the
let's do wish.
Yeah, which was which?
So yes, this week's wish clip was just because really. My favourite character from the original series is Dr. McCoy. And the reason Dr. McCoy is my favourite is because he is so human and warm, and you want him to be your doctor. It wouldn't matter. You could go, the holographic doctor is a century more advanced and he knows 5 million surgical techniques. You'd want McCoy to fix you, wouldn't you? Anyway, roll VT.
The mild racism didn't bother you too much.
No, it didn't. No.
Here it comes.
You green-blooded Vulcan?
I suppose he could, sir. But the Admiral is a rather remarkable man.
If you got some reason you want my atoms scattered all over space, boy.
No, sir. But at your age, sir, I thought you shouldn't have to put up with the time and trouble of a shuttlecraft.
Hold it right there, boy.
Sir?
What about my age?
Sorry, sir. If that subject troubles you.
Troubles me. What's so damn troublesome about not having died? How old do you think I am anyway?
137 years, Admiral, according to Starfleet records.
Explain how you remember that so exactly.
I remember every fact I'm exposed to, sir.
I don't see no points on your ears, boy. But you sound like a Vulcan.
No, sir. I'm an android.
Almost as bad.
Wouldn't he just be more?
I don't see no points on your ears, boy.
I'm the only thing about that
Right,
scene, the only thing about that scene I don't like is the fact that at no point did you refer to Data as Hoss. Apart from that, it was perfect. It was honestly perfect. Thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh. She's got the right name, boy. You treat her like a lady, she'll always bring you home.
Good line.
He reminds me of
the wonderful DeForest Kelly there.
He reminds me very much of Gunnery Sergeant.
Are you thinking of Full Metal Jacket? There's only two kinds from your town, boy.
And I don't see no horns on you. Oh, God.
Sorry, I just put that up to Inside James. Okay.
We're assuming the candle is not lit, unless you're into that sort of. We're not going to judge.
Each to their own. Each to their own.
Each to their own. I've dripped a lot of wax in my time.
Honestly, the fact that we get control over putting these comments in whatever order we like on screen is it's outrageous.
Well, we're pretty much at time now. So we're going to say good night by playing our new intro. Just to remind you that we'll be here next week.
Because there will be injustice.
Is there a backstory to this intro at all, Richard?
Have you seen in the brand thing what I've called the
No.
labeled as second from the bottom?
Let me see. Bloody hell, that's a long list of...
So the amount of crap we've done.
Oh, you don't get this on Trek Yards, do you?
Yeah. Entertainment, no.
People pay them to get drunk. We just do it by nature.
So we'll say goodnight by playing our new outro.
Yeah, we'll do their version of Drunk Yards one day. We'll go to a Weatherspoons and you could just send us drinks.
God, can you imagine how bad that's going to be?
Both of our viewers could send us a pint.
But until next week, please do look after yourselves and each other.
And don't have nightmares.
Good night.